Good morning, students. So, today we are dividing this fascinating world of human heart. A human heart is an organ that beats continuously to keep us alive. So, let's start with the question. What comes to your mind when you see this image of water pump? Yes, just like a water pump, our heart works as a pump to circulate blood throughout our body. Now, let's explore this amazing organ step by step. So, what is heart? Heart is an organ that beat continuously to act as a pump for the blood transport of blood which carries other substance within it. It also beat approximately 72 to 80 times per minute, ensuring the smooth functioning of our body. Structure of heart. Let's look at the structure of heart. It divides into four chambers, the right and the left atria, under upper chamber and the right and left ventricle, that is lower chamber. These chambers work in a synchronized manner to ensure blood flow. The heart also has valves such as tricuspid and bicuspid and pulmonary and aortic valve that maintain one-way blood flow. Now, the heart is divided into four chamber as we have already seen. Let's look at here. Right atrium. Where is right atrium? Here, this blue part is called right atrium. This receives deoxygenated blood from the body through the vena cava. Now, this left atria that receive oxygenated blood that is represented in red color, right? This receive bloods from the lung through pulmonary vein. Now come to the lower chamber, which we have discussed, that right ventricle and left ventricle. First is right ventricle pumps deoxygenated blood to the lungs through the pulmonary artery, and then left ventricle that pumps oxygenated blood to the body through the aorta. Now let's see the systematic diagram of circulation. We can see easily this lungs is here, this heart is here, and the capillaries here. Now, this lungs send blood, that deoxygenated blood, to heart to purify and circulate the oxygenated blood to all over the body with the help of this artery. And then, after coming from the body, the blood contains deoxygenated blood that comes in vein, and then it comes to the heart, and then it sends that uh, deoxygenated blood to pulmonary artery. Now come, now let's see the valve. This valve ensures that blood flow in the one direction only. This tricuspid valve between right atrium and right ventricle. In the heart, a septum is there. What do you mean by septum? Septum is a muscular wall that separates the left and right side of the heart to prevent mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. Now come to vena cava and pulmonary artery. You can easily see on the screen. Now these are the this carries pulmonary vena cava, which brings deoxygenated blood from the body to the right atria. Now, this pulmonary artery carries deoxygenated blood to the lungs, and pulmonary vein brings oxygenated blood from the lungs to the left atria. Aorta is the it carries oxygenated blood to the entire body, and the heartbeat, this pacemaker, the heartbeat due to the pacemaker, the SA node, which generate electrical signal, which we can easily see in this image. Thus, electrical signals produced by the help of this machine. Now, heartbeat, the rhythmic Contraction and relaxation of heart muscles is called heartbeat. Average number of heartbeat which we have already learned is 72 to 80 per beats per minute at resting. Doctor use the stethoscope to amplify the sound of heartbeat. We have generally seen this stethoscope which is generally used by the doctor, right? Now, now let's see the part of heart and their function. Since this is the aorta, superior vena cava, right atrium, right ventricle, then it goes through pulmonary artery. This is the way where deoxygenated blood flows. Now let's see the oxygenated blood, how it's flow. It flow from pulmonary vein, and then it goes to left atrium, then left ventricle and the aorta. Next is pulmonary valve. These valves are present. See here, if you can easily see the white valve present to restrict the to revert back of the blood flow. This tricuspid valve, pulmonary valve, and this valve, which are present in white color, these all are present over here because the reason not to flow back the blood in from the in the body. So aorta is the body's largest artery. It takes oxygenated blood from the left ventricle to the body. Now comes to next is superior vena cava. The superior vena cava is the one of the two main veins, brings the deoxygenated blood from the body to the heart. Vein from the heart, head and the upper body feed into the superior vena cava, which empties into the right atrium of the heart. Inferior vena cava. The inferior vena cava is a large vein that carries deoxygenated blood from the lower body of the heart. Next is pulmonary artery, which carries oxygenated blood from the right ventricle to the lungs. Next is pulmonary vein. Pulmonary vein is it takes oxygenated blood from the lungs to the left atrium. You can easily see here. Next is left atrium. Then oxygen-rich blood from the lungs and enters the now comes to left atrium. Oxygen-rich blood from the lungs enter the left atrium through the pulmonary vein. Next is right atrium. Receive deoxygenated blood from the body. Then right ventricle, which receives oxygenated blood from the left atrium via the mitral valve and pumps it through the aorta. Next is right ventricle. The charm. Uh, Next is right ventricle, the chamber within the heart that is responsible for the pumping oxygen depleted blood to the lung. Next is tricuspid valve. The function of this tricuspid valve or right atrioventricle. Next is tricuspid valve. The function of the tricuspid valve or the right atrioventricular valve is to prevent backflow of blood into the right atrium. Bicuspid valve. It also plays the same role which plays by the tricuspid valve. The tricuspid valve or the mitral valve permit blood to flow one way only from the left atrium into the left ventricle. Next is pulmonary valve. The valve is opened by the increased blood pressure or the ventricular style contraction of the muscular tissue, pushing blood out of the heart and into the artery. It closes when the pressure drops inside the heart. We can easily see this valve over here. See, now you can easily see with the help of this arrow how the blood flow is happening. From superior vena cava, it enters through right atrium, then right ventricle, then it enters in pulmonary artery, then to lungs, then from lungs, pulmonary veins comes and left atrium, left ventricle, then it goes to aorta and now next is aortic valve. The aortic valve functions to prevent comes to aortic valve. The aortic valve functions to prevent the regulation of blood from the aorta into the left ventricle during ventricular diastole, diastole and diastole and to allow the appropriate flow of blood, the cardiac output from the left ventricle into the aorta during ventricular style. How will you take care of your heart? So this is the main question. Now let's come to the question. How will you take care of your heart? For taking care of your heart, you have to eat good food like allowing low fat food, eat good cholesterol, doing proper exercise, seasonal food, always eating seasonal veggies, and etc. Now comes to the question answer section. Let's answer this question. It is hollow and muscular organ. Option A heart, B blood, or C vein. Yes, you are right. It's a heart. Heart is a muscular organ. Next question is thin walled upper chamber. Which are the thin walled upper chamber? Yes, you are right. It's an atrium. Now, thick walled lower chamber? Yes, obviously you are right. It's a ventricle. Next is they control the blood flow inside the heart. Option A artery, B ventricle, C valve. Yes, you are correct. It's valves. Next is it is called the alternating relaxation and contraction of the heartbeat. Cardiac cycle, aorta, or ventricle. Yes, it's a cardiac cycle.